Hello once again. Apparently, it's time for me to tell you more stories about my crappy job, tracking down and destroying mech armors. My name is... Actually, sir, you can't. If you tell me one more time that I can't say my own name, because it's classified information, despite the fact that we're posting stuff that probably should be classified on public access internet, I'm gonna go over there and... Okay, I get it. Threats are not necessary. Threats are going to be necessary if you don't... Never mind. Anyway, the first one we're going to be covering today is one that was simply called the Energizer. He's a rabbit. As you may recall from my video that I made over near Christmas about that weird Hershey's Kiss mech armor, you may remember that that company decided to use mech armors as a PR stunt. Well, apparently, a whole bunch of other companies decided to take up on that idea and do a similar type of thing, which meant even more work for me. Yay. One of the first ones to try this was the Energizer Bunny, which they turned into a mech armor, and had it go around and fight crime. Now, of course, this is illegal, so we had to go and try to kill this thing. However, no matter how many times we tried to destroy it, it would just keep going. We shot it with an AK-47. It's still going. We used several EMPs. It's still going. One time we dropped a ballistic missile on it. Still going. One time, one of the higher-ups tried to drop a nuke on this one stupid bunny. And it's still going. Most recently, we saw it fighting a dinosaur that for some reason looked like Darth Vader. And it won because the Darth Vader dinosaur got tired and fell asleep. Meanwhile, the Mech Armor Bunny was still going. We still have not captured this stupid rabbit, despite the fact that it's a fairly simple mech armor. The entire thing is just very frustrating to me that I am constantly being humiliated by a pink bunny. Okay, that one just kind of threw out my voice there for a second. The main issue that I had to try to avoid with this particular drawing was trying to make it not look exactly like the Afton mech that I made last year, because it was also very bunny-like. But surprisingly, I don't think I did that. But anyway, here's the finished drawing. The next one was actually not stopped by us. We fought it, but the final blow to it came actually from the legal copyright system. It's a long story. Basically, McDonald's also decided to get upon the act of making mech armors based off some of their most famous mascots, and decided to make one based on Ronald McDonald, which itself wasn't as bad. But however, no criminals were around that wanted to try to fight it, because it's a creepy clown as a mech armor, and nobody wanted to be within a few inches of that thing. So, they decided to make their own criminals. So, because of the fact that they were trying to make their own criminals, we were called in and tried to deal with it. We managed to capture actually quite a few of them. There was a purple mech armor that looked like a weird monster thing. There was this one pirate mech armor. There was a monster. There was a mech armor that looked like a bank robber. There was a lot of mech armors. But somehow we weren't the ones to deal the final blow. The ones that dealt the final blow was copyright infringement. Turns out that half these characters were actually stolen from a different company that was also simultaneously trying to use mech armors for their own thing. There was this old television show called HR Puffin Stuff that was trying to regain popularity with their own reboot. And for advertising purposes, I guess, they wanted to use mech armors for their advertising, I guess. I don't know. But, however, some of their characters also happen to look very similar to the Ronald McDonald characters, and therefore they sued. Luckily, we had already gotten most of them captured, so suing them was fairly easy. Eventually, the lawsuit took place, and it cost McDonald's about $10 million. Which I would like to point out is less than they make in a day, so really, it didn't really cost them all that much. But, either way, I digress. The point of the story is, I guess crime pays sometimes. So this is actually the second Ronald McDonald drawing I've done. I did one back last year in the Fast Food Characters as Zootopia story. But this one I feel was different enough from that in order to differentiate it. Anyway, here's the finished drawing. I don't have much time for design. The last one that we have to cover today is the one for Starbucks. The coffee company. Apparently, they have a mascot. Oh, you didn't know that they had a mascot? Other than that weird logo thing? Well, turns out the weird logo thing is their mascot. Apparently, it's supposed to be a mermaid. I don't know how you would get that from the design. It just kinda looks like an ordinary woman that happens to have a weird-looking crown on, but whatever, I guess. Apparently, it was supposed to be a mermaid. Apparently, they wanted to make this fact more obvious. So they decided to, instead of just change the logo or get a new mascot, I would personally recommend a deer, because, Starbucks. Instead of any of that, they decided to make a mech armor and put on this weird show where they make a giant river of coffee and have a weird, aquatic acrobatic type thing. I honestly don't know and don't care. Either way, they went ahead with it, and it seemed fine, except for the fact that it was super illegal. So, I was sent to deal with this. Now, personally, I like Starbucks. Slightly addicted. Especially with the peppermint mochas. Because, peppermint mochas are the best thing since anything. So, it was a bit of a stab in the back for me to have to go and arrest someone advertising for them. And I will admit, I did get paid off a little bit to let this one slide. I mean, come on. I was offered free peppermint mochas for life if I would just let this slide for a little bit. How am I supposed to turn that down? Especially since literally all that I drink on a daily basis is pretty much just peppermint mochas. So, anyway, probably getting fired soon. Really don't care. Well, thank you for watching, and goodbye, I guess. I don't know, and don't care.